Hey everyone, what's going on? Ash and Rima here from MEOdyssey, and today we've got a few little points to cover, and when I say little, I mean actually quite important. But yeah, so we've got firstly the Andromeda Initiative, the newest one came out today, which is based on weapons and biotics, and you also get to see a bit of the abilities in terms of the jetpack and maneuverability with that as well. You've got the PC specs, finally, have been released today. Also that Mass Effect Andromeda has gone gold, and we'll explain what that means right at the end of the video. So first of all, I'm going to pass over to Rima, who has taken some notes in regards to the latest Andromeda Initiative briefing. So Rima.
Not a lot of notes because it's fairly simple and standard. It's not telling us anything that we haven't already seen. He's basically telling us about the weapons that you can have and kind of like your skills that you can use and biotics more specifically. But it's fairly standard. He talks about the weapons you can have. It's the same 4 class of weapons: pistols, shotguns, assault rifles, and sniper rifles, as well as your melee weapons as well. And you get to see some of them in action. It's again, we've kind of seen all this already, but it's still really nice to see a little bit more gameplay again. The only main things I kind of took from it is it looks like she's basically like fighting shadow people, and it almost looks like we were talking about it before we recorded that it looks like a little bit more like a simulation. Obviously, we don't really know if it's just for the video or it's going to be a tutorial level, but it's quite cool. I liked it. It wasn't just her fighting in like a scene. It's kind of designed for that video. Also the fact that there's different mods you can attach to the weapons, which is definitely new. So he made a few examples, like your current effects pistol, you can attach a grenade launcher mod to it. If you use the right mod, you can use like a grenade launcher. There's also like electric arc things that you can stick to the assault rifles. There's a whole different ones for each of the weapons that you can get. So it means that your weapons can be super deadly as well, on top of how awesome they are already. And you also get to see a bit more of the Omni tool as well, not just the fact that he talks about, like, obviously his personal favorite is actually just using the Omni tool as a blade, but you can see Sarah Ryder using it like almost like a personal computer on her arm. Yes. It actually flips up like it's a personal computer, and you get to see the different kind of tools you can use for that. Rather than just being a blade, it can be used, you know, as seen before, as like for flames, for ice, for shielding, invisibility, all that kind of stuff. So it's all pretty standard, all looks really good, and that's pretty much it. I have nothing more to add to it because if you watch the video, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add a little bit more. The bit I was quite happy to see is where they showed how maneuverable it is to use the jetpack, which is something that I've got to experience when I did the hands-on last Friday at EA. And I'm glad there was at least a little focus on it, because I really liked how you can shoot up in the air, you can hover, and then you can use the dart all at the same time. So you can just go hover and go to the right or left if you have to. So you can do that all like within like a very quick press of like 2 or 3 buttons. So it was actually really nice to see that they had a little focus on that. And trust me when I say it's very cool and it's very easy to use. So you won't have any troubles like getting used to the sideward dash or the like getting used to the rocket jump or anything like that. It's all very, very standard, very easy to use. So yeah. So we're going to move on now to the second bit of news of the day, which was the PC requirements. And I know a lot of people have been kind of wanting to focus on this. We'll just breeze through them very quickly. You'll see them on the screens here. I'll put the minimum system requirements on the left, and I'll put the recommended system requirements on the right, so you can see them clearly as to what you're going to need. So you're looking at 64-bit Windows 7, 8.1, and Windows 10. The processor, this is for minimum requirements as well. Processor, you're looking at i5 Intel or an AMD FX 6350. You're looking at least 8 GB of RAM. Video card, you're looking at the very least an NVIDIA GTX 660, 2 GB, or an AMD Radeon 7850, 2 GB. Hard drives, at least 55 gig of free space. Finally, which I think this one took a few people by surprise.
It took me by surprise when I saw it.
Which is DirectX, and it's actually on DirectX 11.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised they didn't go for the latest, but maybe they're just wanting to include people who haven't had a chance to upgrade. They're maybe covering their bases.
Moving on to the recommended. Processor for the recommended one is Intel i7. If I've got i7, or an AMD FX 8350, you've got 16 gig of RAM for the memory. The video card is a bit beefier, which is the NVIDIA GTX 1060 3GB or the AMD RX 4804 GB. Hard drive again is at least 55 gig of free space, and DirectX 11 again there as well. So the last little bit of news we want to bring you is some very good news indeed, and it's the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda has gone gold today, which basically means that the main development of the game is complete and the master copy of the disc will now be sent for final certification, and then it will be put on to all the other main discs that will be sold to us, and the final code will be sent to digital retailers so they can then prepare to sell the game digitally there as well. So a really nice cap on the end of today to know that the main development of the game is now done. I'll put a few tweets on the screen from some of the devs saying that how happy they are, and it's just a really nice end to the day with like all the press having the chance to go hands on last week, and literally a week later has now gone gold as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it means we might get a demo at some point as well, or a beta, but we'll have to wait and see there. That's pretty much rounding off everything we want to give you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Mass Effect, and you can help the channel to grow by sharing the video too. We'll see you again very soon.